Hello Fit Fam and welcome back to my channel. Mervin Munoz here. Thanks for tuning in. So what I have here is part of my way back when ... series. And in this case when I did 300 push-ups unbroken, not straight, but unbroken without breaking the bar, releasing from the bar, taking a knee, just staying in plank position the best I could. 300 push-ups unbroken. So in this case, I think the actual was 303. I have this habit of trying to add 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more. It's easy to miscount, especially when you're going fast in the beginning and trying to keep track of everything and looking at the stopwatch and seeing how much time's going by. It's easy to miss a number or two. But anyway, so this particular night, I remember vividly, it was one of those nights where it was just like, you know what, let me see if I have it. Around this time, I had 200 push-ups unbroken, and that was pretty much a regular thing that I could do. And then 300 was just kind of one of those, do I got it? Can I tap in? And again, these are one of those sets where I wasn't completely conditioned, or not even completely, I wasn't conditioned properly to unlock this set with the cleanliness that it deserves. But again, if I'm just trying to hit it by tapping in and tapping into the mentals and just having my body follow that wave, ride that wave, then basically whatever I was able to accomplish is an accomplishment in itself. Because let's face it, 300 push-ups unbroken, regardless, is just it's just a goal to be proud of and an accomplishment to be proud of when unlocked. So again, this particular night, I was like, let me go for it. And I can't remember, as much as I remember the set that night, I don't remember the numbers as to where I actually had to plank it out in the beginning. But I think in this case, I planked pretty early. And my thing is that I could either try to go as far as I can and max it out to fatigue, but then that would only mean it's going to be a harder fight to the end. So I played it conservatively, didn't go for max reps out the clip. I just did what I felt like was a good enough pace, a good enough out the block that I can build upon to get to that 300. But I quickly realized eventually it was pretty much a battle style. And I think once you pass 200, it's like, man, that next 100 is like, really? Can I do it? Can I make it? And your core's on fire, your quads are burning, your toes are numb, starting to tremble, and you're trying as much possible not to break. Because when you make it that far, it's really tough when you break. But again, that's part of the learning process, that's part of the conditioning. And in this case, sometimes I have a tendency to skip steps, to skip progressions, because I'm going off adrenaline, motivation, just trying to hit these goals when I feel like my body can do it. So this particular night, I did it, and I'll tell you, it was quite the fight. And my hands were, I don't know if they were bruised or numb or both, but I'll tell you, every part of my body did not go without feeling some kind of pain or soreness. Like, this set was just tough. So again, if there's any goals that you have that you feel like, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know if I'm quite there, those are baseline sets. Do it. Go as far as you can. And if you don't make it, at least you know how far you've come. And then from there, you can begin the necessary progressions, the conditioning to get it unlocked. And my philosophy is this, that there's a lot of goals that are out there that you may want to achieve. And a lot of them you may feel like, well, I don't know if I can do it. And if I can do it, I don't know if I can do it that clean. Well, in my opinion, and this is just me speaking, I think it's better to be able to unlock a goal. It doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be the best form. It doesn't have to be the best ROM. If you can just prove to yourself and unlock that mental block that you may have, or doubt in yourself that you may have, if you can just hit that number, I can almost guarantee you that it will boost up your confidence level and it'll make you want to work harder to getting it done cleaner. But again, in my case, I just want to hit the 300, check it off, and I was done. But now, again, this was a couple of years ago or last year. But I'm at that point now where I kind of want to renew a lot of the goals that I had unlocked back then in the past. And this time around, I want to do it cleaner, better form, better ROM. So that in itself is going to make it harder for me to accomplish because, one, I have to condition myself to do it clean. And then two, aside from the conditioning, now I actually have to unlock it clean. And that's going to take more work. And given the time frames that I have to train, it's not much time. So I'm going to have to find a way to do conditioning, strength conditioning, and endurance that can only be done in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at a time to build it. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. So I'll try to figure it out. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But at least I can say I did do it at some point in time, which is why I think it's very important when you feel like your body is capable, ready, willing, and able to do it, do it. Don't worry about the cleanliness at that time. And then when you unlock it, then you can focus on it because you know what it feels like, when it hits, where it hits, and how it hits. I'm actually doing the voiceover and my son comes in and says, I'm going to go work out, which is great. So side note, so my son wants to start getting more, I guess, strength building in and wants to start doing weights. So I got him a 100-pound weight set. So it's a total of 100 pounds. And he's so excited about it. And it reminds me of when I was his age and I started weight training. I actually think I had the same thing, a 100-pound weight set. And I got a lot of gains from it. I just wish back then that I would have really had calisthenics training as part of my routine that early on in my life. But it's okay. Everything happens for a reason, and when it happens, it happens. But anyway, so back to the set. So I said, you know, I think where I stopped off before my son had come in about him working out, I was at the 201 rep mark. So at 200, I already know what it felt like or feels like to hit 200. So let me kind of go back to that. So I've hit 200 many times. So I know what it takes to get there. I know how it hits, when it hits, and where it hits. So I'm able to adjust myself accordingly as far as my pace, my rhythm, when I have to battle it out. Now, once you cross that threshold of, when I say comfort, like what you are to expect in a set, now you're going into uncharted territory. So from 201 up to 300, that's a whole nother ball game that I have no idea how to game plan until I do it. So having said that, here, this is just straight drive and determination trying to get through this set. And those planks, let me tell you, that isometric top hold plank position, it's got every muscle like ready to pull. But, you know, you just got to kind of take those deep breaths, recalibrate yourself within the set, and just keep going. And for me, I always try to find that number that's a point of no return. Find that rep number in any rep sequence that you do. And once you hit that number, you know, look, I've gone this far. There's nowhere else to go other than to finish this set. And for me, I think 265 was my number. I said, if I hit 265, no matter what, I need to get those 35 done. No questions asked. I'm going to have to fight for it. So that was that. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that these baseline sets and unlocking sets for the first time may not always be picture perfect. And I don't think they need to be. Again, unless you've conditioned yourself to that point where you aren't going to try it till you know you are at that picture perfect moment. So there's different ways to approach it. Again, in my case, I had too many things I was trying to accomplish at one time. So I kind of sacrificed the Form and ROM and able to hit the higher number, the higher reps, the routines unbroken, whatever the case may be. So if I had to do it all over again, would I change anything? No, because from it, I've learned a lot. And again, I've learned what I'm capable of, what I have the ability to accomplish, and to be able to do this, when I say unconditioned, meaning like I was not necessarily prepared to do the set the way it deserves to be done. I was able to do it my way, and I was able to accomplish it to meet my standards and check off that accomplishment. So here I go with this whole rant as to my philosophy, my perspective on things, and hopefully it helps. And again, if you're actually still tuning in and listening and watching all of this, thank you so much. It means a lot that you're able to stick through it. All right, so I think I've said more than enough, and I was probably redundant and repetitive. However, again, I'm very excited to share this footage. I'm glad I still have it available. And this just goes to show you what I was able to accomplish back in the day, not too far ago, within the past year or two. And again, this was just straight off of determination, a strong mindset, and saying, I am not going to quit. I'm going to fight through this. And if this is the only time I will ever be able to unlock this, it's going to be today. And no questions asked. I have footage. It's done. It's checked off. So keep strong. Stay tough regardless. Overcome. Never give up. Give it your best day in and day out. Mervin out. Peace.